Ground, aka Hollow Drift, for the final Wednesday League instalment of the BUCS Super Rugby season. And it ain't no ordinary Wednesday, because tonight is a title decider. Durham University take on their old northern foes, Northumbria Uni, knowing that any win will crown them BUCS Super Rugby League champions. Kickoff is imminent, and I am blessed to say that I'm here with the injured Durham flyer half, Patrick Bishop. And I say we're blessed for many reasons, because you've been in the thick of it for Durham all season, but also last time we saw you, you were stretchered off here at this ground after a sickening blow. So it's great to see you on your feet. Give us an update of how you are.
Thank you very much for having me. So I've had a few positive scans come back, back on the mend now, and looking forward to next year now, really. Hoping to be back and fit and just training in pre-season, yeah.
So are you ruled out for the rest of the campaign? You're going to get a shot at the playoffs?
I'd love to say that I'm going to get a shot, but I think there's a lot of specialists that need to be seen first. A lot of discussions to be had, but more than likely I think I'll be ruled out, yeah, unfortunately.
Okay, well, we're sad to see that, but let's remember you're a second year, there's plenty more rugby ahead, and you've been instrumental in this league charge for Durham, which is culminating tonight. A lot of people are talking about it as a crowning ceremony, but you still got a team to beat here tonight. Let's talk about where the Durham heads have been at in the run-up to this week.
So we've had a really professional week. We've not really changed anything. We know that Northumbria are a quality outfit, and they're still a BUCS Super Rugby side. And we know that our standards have got to be really hard today, because they can punish us from anywhere.
So they can punish you from everywhere. Specifically, where the threats come from?
We know they've got a few good runners of the ball, particularly the game breaks down, so I think we'll be looking for some real set-piece dominance and to really take the game by the scruff of the neck. We know they've got a good 10 who'll orchestrate the game well, and they've got a couple of powerful carriers in that pack and their back row as well, yeah.
On a night like tonight, mindset is everything. How much have you been talking about the league, the potential title, the championship, or has it been tucked away and it's just the game in hand tonight?
So I know it's pretty cliche, but we have just kept it as a normal game, normal BUCS Super Rugby game. No real mention of the league, but we know we've been dealt our cards, and this is our final card to play now in the league. Obviously, it'd be great to get another win the league, and then carry some. I think the main thing is carrying the momentum of the performance into the knockouts. We've not had the best success in that in past years, so it's something that we're really targeting as well.
So the final card to be played tonight, and potentially Durham crowned league champions. Well, a couple of weeks ago we were up here and we were here for 2 games and we were crowning Durham women the Women's National League champions. The men are going to try and emulate them and make it a historic double. This is how the women did it.
Just to get everyone back together, it's been a really long year not having any BUCS rugby. Everyone is just excited to play. I think it's a really difficult one to call this year. I think we're going to have a really great team, and we have such a good mix of youth and experience. So of course we want to go all the way. We want to win, of course. Who doesn't want to win?
And the momentum we're building coming out of the COVID break has just gone from strength to strength. I can't talk highly enough about how well the women have done.
Then you've got the outside half, one more pass should do it. Oh, the cover tackle! Oh, they've gone quickly, so here's Lazel. Good footwork, and she goes over for the first score. Oh, that's a gorgeous line from Mayan Piku. That is the 4th try.
The lead that Tamara Taylor is lurking with the trophy emblazoned with platinum ribbons to mark a monumental and historic moment for Durham women's rugby.
A near perfect season. 10 games, 9 victories. The first time they've won a national championship. Can they make it a double? This team put together by Cy Culling. The history makers, the champagne moment.
So that's how the women did it a couple of weeks ago against Edinburgh University. A capital season from them, and they're also going to be hoping to make it to the playoff finals, which is going to be held at Six Ways on the 13th of April. A big red ring in your calendar for that one, where the men's final will take place as well. Coming back to the game tonight, you mentioned about some of the threats in Northumbria pose, because we can't just talk about Durham all night. You've played with some of these players, you know them through the academy systems. Can you give us some specific names and threats of some of the players? I know you identified some sparky players in their backline.
So I think the 15, Ollie Williams, we've identified him as a real threat with ball. He's a Yorkshire Carnegie boy. I've known him for quite a while. I think the main thing for him today will be, orchestrating it from the backfield and taking these high balls, which will probably come his way with this wind. Oscar Yarndale, the 10, we know he's a good player. He's played at a good standard. It'll be pretty dangerous if we allow him to orchestrate that back line. Then looking in the pack, we've got boys like Harry Hill, who we know they're strong ball carriers who can really damage us if we don't get a grip of the physicality of the game.
You mentioned the wind here. It's always a swirling wind at Hollow Drift. Is it a unique edge that Durham have in getting to play here and understanding these conditions so well?
So I think there's quite a few things that go into it. I think the big one is the balls. No one likes the Webb Ellis's. We're the only team in the league to use them. But it is tough. It's tough to kick on this pitch. It sometimes moves a bit underfoot as well. But it looks like it's held out all right today. But the wind does bluster. It tends to go in towards the clubhouse, but it blusters around. Always seems to be that it's going in your face no matter which half it is as well. You go into the sheds and you come back out and it's in your face again.
Well, believe it or not, this is actually the finest weather that I've ever encountered here in my long time doing BUCS Super Rugby at Hollow Drift. So a nice night for hopefully a fantastic game. And we've kind of glossed over the rivalry of the fact that it is Northumbria, because all the focus is on the potential title, but old foes, real old foes that you like to get one up against each other.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing. It's half an hour down the road. I can see a few of their boys starting to filter in now. I know they've been here since 1 o'clock this afternoon in Durham. But yeah, it's treated like both of us more like a home game, with it only being half an hour away, as opposed to those 7-8 hour trips down to Exeter and Swansea. So we're expecting them to be pretty hot out of the traps today, and it's something we'll have to nullify for sure.
Good stuff. Okay, so we're moments away from kick-off, and such to the way that we've thrown things together. It's it's loose and fast, like the rugby might be out there tonight, and we're just going to catch a moment with Alex here. Come on, Keezy, come on. Can't take that long. This is TV after all.
Thank you.
Okay, it's good to see you on
good to see you guys.
What is potentially a very, very big night for Durham, a potentially back-to-back title-winning night. Just talk to us about the season and the feeling coming into this game.
The feeling coming in tonight's incredible. The boys are really up for it. I think they're approaching it just so would every other game, which is really good. In terms of the season, the boys have just been incredible, because every time there's been a setback, whether it's Bish being injured or somebody being, they've just been so resilient and so tough. Been outstanding. And you can't thank the whole crew. I mean, from Stewie, team manager, physios, Jackie and Paul and S&C, Jamie and all the coaches, Nez, Sean Robinson, TC, Psychology. I mean, absolutely brilliant. But the players, top draw.
Well, it's all about players, isn't it? All about the players. You mentioned Bish being out. He's been steering you around the field, and you've got a number of other new faces in there. You've got ultimate faith in those characters who are coming in and filling those positions tonight.
The guys who've come in, have been incredible and really played super well. And it's almost been like seamless, which has been really good for us.
There we go. Well, look, good luck, Easy.
Thank you. You're not betting against it?
Or not betting against you. Even not wearing a green coat. Even not wearing a green coat. Right.
Thanks,
Right, that is all down from pitch side. The players are in the sheds. They're about to come out. And this is what it's about. There's a title on the line for Durham, and for Northumbria is the chance to get some much needed momentum in the run up to what is potentially a pivotal playoff clash against Nottingham University to preserve their BUCS Super Rugby status. But this is how the aspirations looked at the beginning of the season. Good. Yeah, both of them.
Fred Davies, Durham University, and I play hooker.
Psychology, I am the performance rugby coach from the University of Durham.
We had a really great start, so it sort of put us in that top sort of 2-3 contention for the whole time, and it was one of them where you didn't really realise. So I think we've gone 7 games unbeaten, and then I was sitting at a review meeting maybe on a Monday going, well, we could have a go here. You know, we could be in a good place. And then it was just taking game by game. As cliched it is, it's the season and the rugby is that brutal around the country that it has to be.
Big crowds, pressure events, high quality games. It's such a great grounding for an entry into high level rugby, whether that be Premiership, Championship, or whatever
That you play in. I think uni rugby's, to say it again, is very unique by comparison to professional sport and school. I think it's as close as you can get to professional sport without it being there.
I'll go honesty, intensity, and fun.
So John Benson, Northumbria University, head of rugby. All of the games excite the players, do you know what I mean? There's no easy game within Super Rugby, so you're going to go down to Exeter, you know you're going to be a challenge down at Exeter. Hartpury's exactly the same, and so is Bath. So literally all of the games are exciting and looking good challenges, should we say, good challenges for the players. I would certainly say expansive in how we want to play the game. We want to obviously play an attractive style of rugby in that respect. I think the boys are really hungry. They want to prove a point, they want to show how good they are. I think they would be honest with themselves and didn't perform at the standards that they knew they could have done. But a lot of those boys are still with us, so they're hungry to go out there and perform again, and they've missed it. Obviously they've missed rugby and playing rugby and getting back to it. And probably the last one would be explosive and how we want to play, how we want to defend, how our structure is, how we talk about it, and also ball carries going forward in that respect.
Expansive, explosive, and honest. 3 words could not be more apt to describe BUCS Super Rugby. And after 17 rounds, 161 days, it all distills down to this match. Durham University versus Northumbria University. With Durham getting us underway into the hands of the men in black. Their university foes from just down the road. The maths is simple for Durham this evening. Any win and they will be champions by virtue of the narrowest of head-to-heads against Exeter University, who are kicking off at exactly the same time against Cardiff Met at Kincoid. It is a full ticket of BUCS Super Rugby this evening. So much on the line, so many permutations ones will get stuck into as the night progresses. And the first set piece of the night goes a little bit awry for Durham from the darts of Fred Davies, who carries heavily and buffets over Murray Wigmore. Big forward carriers from the back row. Jamie Adamson, a recent returnee from the England Sevens camp, carrying forward as Durham spread wide to one of their flyers, and boy does he fly! Paul Brown streaks across, and it's first blood to the Palatinates.
Yeah, lovely finish by Paul there. Something we identified in the week was just giving our outside backs a bit of the ball, just one-on-ones, giving 2 and 2s. Got a really quick set of backs, and yeah, lovely finish there to get in the corner. Tough kick here for Will on the slope, but his kicking's one of his strengths, so hopefully he can nudge this over into the wind here.
Well, Paul Brown makes it 9 tries for his BUCS Super Rugby season. He got one here last time against Cardiff, ending a drought. One last week against Beckett, so he's a man in the mood. And the man teeing up is Will Nicholson. He has big Bishop shoes to fill at the moment. Well, that wind you mentioned, Pat, of always going towards the clubhouse, but seemingly always in your face, no matter what direction you're facing, foxing your replacement there. 5-0 to Durham, the dream start for your boys.
Yeah, apart from the set piece going a bit array there, we had some good front foot carries from our forwards. We'll just need a clean exit here, go back to process. It'll be tough for Harry kicking into the wind, but hopefully it all goes well here.
Harry Craven in the 9 jersey, so much the beating heart of this Durham side, sends the first aerial bomb to the night sky, and Northumbria don't defuse it. Durham have possession. The call to go wide. It's fast hands looking for the edges. And breaking through the first tackles. That's Max Pepper. Up to the 22. Craven goes for a dart. Craven streaking free. And it's try number 2 in merely minutes.
Yeah, lovely little snipe there from Harry, someone he's been working on all year. His running game's his real threat, really. Really nice kick from him as well, good weight on it, and it was hugging that 5-metre line. Nice press from Paul, and we've got a bit of a shift ball focus on turnovers, which we really tried to adopt this week. It was something we analysed, and again, another tough kick for Will here, but it's an ideal start there.
Well, any hint of Coronation Night cobwebs have been well and truly blown out in these opening 4 minutes. Paul Brown, Harry Craven, Durham at the double, and leading by 10 with the kick to come. Goodness me, it really is a fearsome win to contend with. But the headline is that Durham are 2 tries to the good already. Northumbria shell-shocked and really, really needing a response.
Hold in front, Durham, 5, wait! Wingers put them on.
Ollie Williams under pressure and under the watchful eye of the Palatinate supporters. Spills another kick, but Monty Royston on this occasion just spilling. This is a much needed foothold that Northumbria will like. He won't want to see that one back, will he?
No, I think, to be fair to Monty, he's had a really good year, especially post-Christmas. He's come back and really put his hand up and sort of secured that spot. But we can't be having our props getting caught back there in the backfield, especially not on kick receipt. And it'll be interesting here to see what Northumbria do. They brought their blindside winger across here, maybe someone up the middle. But it's a good set-piece platform here for them to strike, and it's definitely something we need to defend.
Lucas Blue lurks with intent on the inside shoulder of Zach Thompson. First opportunity to look at the scrum. Fresh look to the Northumbria front row of Matt Siddle, Cam Wilkinson and Billy Nichols. Billy Nichols captaining on his return from an ankle injury, while Matt Siddle is an old school farmer strength prop, bookending Cam Wilkinson, who been a real dynamo for the men in black this season. Converted back row, looking to do the nuts and bolts right here. Durham get the nudge, but Northumbria do well to come away with it. Bit of offloading game, it's loose at the moment, and just Northumbria being muscled by Durham. It causes the error, and Jamie Adamson then next to spill. Fractious bit of play from both sides, no one really cherishing possession.
Oh yeah, interesting couple of phases there. Northumbria obviously forced to go down the blind side there. It was good defence from us. Jamie's so good over the ball. That sevens exposure out in Spain, he's so good over the ball, and he gets a nice turnover there, but he'll be a bit disappointed there to not hold on to that. But he's another one of those boys that we can get the ball to him in those wide spaces, you know, off kick receipt and everything. He can be a real danger man. He's got a real spark about him as well.
You can say that again. He scored a hell of a try for England at the Malaga Sevens. So not only good over the ball, but the kind of frame you want scampering in the wide channels. Big carry from Harry Hill, stamping his authority on the contact zone. Northumbria with room to play, with room to express themselves. Great tackle on Ollie Williams. Northumbria 10 metres shy. They look blind through Thompson. Comes back to the refuge of his forwards. No give from Billy Nichols. Dragged to the floor. Northumbria need a bit of patience, need some composure, their best moment of the game so far.
Use it.
Again, they probe the blind side. But the ball harmlessly trickles out into touch. It'll be a pressure throw for the Durham line out. But the brightest spell so far for Northumbria.
Yeah, I think we see the threat there of Northumbria. They managed to get on our outside there. Some excellent defence by Ollie Walker to bring down Ollie Williams, but he's a real dangerous player, one of those boys we spoke about in the week. Just couldn't put his wing away there, but definitely shows that sort of dangerous spark that they can have. Bit of an injury here, and I don't actually mind that kick from them. From a Northumbria point of view, I think it's quite a nice little variation. We had a good set line there, and you know, just testing that backfield's quite a nice little approach to take. And again, set piece here for us, and it's another one where it's in a horrible place to throw in with this wind coming across. Tough to throw it straight, and then an exit from this corner so hard, kicking into the wind. So actually really nice play from Northumbria there, but we hit our line out drill as well.
Well, it's Ewan Murphy leaping highest. Another look at the scrum, and I'm pretty sure, you know, that number 4 is actually Marin Hughes. So, just like they did against Cardiff, Durham have switched their jerseys to make life difficult for the commentary team.
I think it's because Ewan Murphy can't quite fill out the number 4 shirt, so I think he has to get number 5.
His brother fills it out, presumably.
Yeah, Joe does, of course. He's a bit older, so Ewan will eventually get there.
Bind. Set.
A prime platform for Northumbria to launch. The scrum a lot steadier this time. And Northumbria on the move. Lot of options, lot of runners. Here comes big Lucas Blue. Again, Northumbria seek the edges. Ollie Williams growing into the game. The recycle fast again, Callum Burke. Returning to the team, big second row, but operating at 6 tonight.
Excellent work on the ground there by Braden. He's over from South Africa. He's a real sort of Lucy, as they call him. He's really good over the ball. He's a real workhorse as well. Some of the stats and numbers he gets through are really impressive. And he's another one to have that's come back from injury. So he's really nice to have back around this time.
Well, he made his comeback here in round 16 against Cardiff, missing since round 11, and got his first start last week against Beckett. An embarrassment of riches in the back row for Durham. Likes of Henry Higginson sitting on the bench, primed and ready to go. But at the moment, it's the boys on the field who are doing the business, and there goes Braden Barrett. He's got his other flanker in support, Jamie Adamson, showing us what he can do when he's got a bit of space. Nobody's going to stop the back rower. It was made by 6, finished by 7, and it's try number 3 for the Palatinates.
Yeah, lovely line there by Braden, but I think Northumbria were a bit be a bit disappointed to get broken that easily from the halfway, especially off. They've disrupted a bit of set piece there, putting pressure on Harry the 9 on that pass. But Will Nick's done really well there to take the ball down. And lovely finish by Jamie. He showed again that 7 spark that he's got. He's really dangerous. He can beat a man. It's hard to have to defend in training. His ability to show you up. You know, it can be a 5-metre channel, a 30-metre channel. He'll run around you. It doesn't matter. So yeah, he's a real dangerous player, and nice to see him get some hands on his ball in his last game for Durham.
Well, the easiest conversion of the lot for Will Nicholson to get himself on the board. Well, he had to thump it to try and beat that win, but he thumped it right through the middle. And Durham have opened up a 17-0 lead with just 13 minutes gone. Durham claim the restart, a shorter version from Northumbria on this occasion, and the power of Durham in the loose contact and out the back of the door offload. Are we going to see a bonus within the first 15? Harlem Globetrotter stuff gets Hollow Drift purring.
Holding front black.
But it's Northumbria who come away with it, and they clear the decks. But the respite is oh so brief. Nick Jonas fancies a run this time. Dragged down well, just beyond the 10. Hughes with a beautiful tip to Braden Barrett. So prominent in these early exchanges. There's a fluidity to Durham. Nicholson using the runners around him. Red Davies. Ewan Murphy out the back door. There are numbers here for the Palatinate. It's how they use them. Wow, and they use them through Max Pepper. Ollie Walker does fabulously to stay on his feet through the contact. And Max Pepper just loves to score at Hollow Drift.
Yeah, Max, he's one of those boys like Paul, our wingers. We're really lucky with them two. Max a fresher here, Paul in his 2nd year. Max also involved with England Sevens. He's on their cards. He's a real dangerous player, and he's so quick. And he's had like quite a nice rich vein of scoring tries here at Hollow Drift these past 3 home games. Scored a hat-trick a couple of weeks ago, and then he got a couple against Cardiff as well.
Too right you are. 6 tries in his last 3 appearances here at Hollow Drift. And concerningly, he has got another 64 minutes to add. Nicholson still struggling to tame the wind. The damage minimised, and Durham just leading 22-0. But Northumbria really looking for answers. Marin Hoos.
Start on black. Right, let's go, Durham. Now.
Ollie Williams tested on the halfway line again. Good chase from Paul Brown, but the black jerseys rally round the full-back and recycle. Certainly offside at the back feet from the Durham defence. Ollie Walker doing well, but the advantage was being played. And referee Ben Rayner calls us back.
I think Northumbria will look to drive this into the corner here, obviously, and something we identified again in the week. They've got a real good kick here, their 10 Oscar, and it's something that they strike off quite a lot and sort of... Oh, he's just missed it.
Well, acrobatically kept in by Nick Jonas, leaping from outside of touch, and it's all in vain because Will Nicholson buries it into touch, not too far from where Oscar Yandel was aiming with his original penalty touch finder.
Good outcome in the end for Northumbria, and it'll be interesting to see what they launch off this set piece.
Well, it's Cam Wilkinson in the number 24 jersey. Northumbria with the attacking line. Good challenge in the air from Durham, and they do come away with it before the loose ball is gobbled up by Northumbria. A chance to attack, but a double hit on Ryan Gibson. More ball for the Northumbria backs, but side down beyond the 22, moving backwards at the moment. Another big hit coming in from Paul Brown, who, oh wow, the pickup was expert. But adjudged to have been knocked on in the tackle. What a pickup. Let's take another look at this. Right off the bootstraps with the tips of his fingers, moving at pace. Must be nice having a guy like that sat on your wing, Pat.
Yeah, he's so quick. Set the Team Durham record across all sports at Loughborough away on that nice Astro. Got over 10 metres a second, which is lightning quick, that sort of Premiership level. We just moved him across here in defence, so he'll go and hunt the ball here and hopefully disrupt this Northumbria play.
It is one thing I noticed during the Cardiff game, that he's very, very busy. He's not a winger that just gets paint on his boots, sat out there on the right flank. He's kind of hunting around and squabbling for opportunities in all areas of the field.
Yeah, I think that's been one of his work-ons. I mean, he's got a very bright set of boots on there, but when you're as quick as he is, you can get away with it. But something he's been working on. He's such a strong boy as well, just popping up, you know, in the middle of the park and just trying to get as many touches as he can. It's just so, so common for wingers to go and not get the touches they want. And in BUCS Super Rugby, you can't afford for that. He's such a dangerous running threat, as we saw there. Good scrum from Durham.
One collapsing under pressure.
I think that's also been something this year that's been our real bread and butter, and something that's so lovely to have as a fly half or a back, is when you see that scrum and your set piece going so well, or your line out.
Out in front, Black, hold.
Well, Will Nicholson not having an ideal night with the boot at the moment, finds Ollie Williams, who in turn misses his touch, but there is a chasm of space in that Northumbria backfield, well mopped up by Callum Burke, working hard, and Zach Thompson employs some ingenuity, but you don't want to give it to the man we've just been speaking about, Paul Brown. Durham with transition ball, with the ball they look so dangerous with. Northumbria arm flails out, and it's advantage for the intentional knock-on. Durham won't want to use it, they'll want to do it themselves.
Still advantage.
Mikey Ford in at first receiver.
Couple nice tackles there from Northumbria. Looks like something they've identified as they're targeting the ball there, getting the hand in and trying to rip it. So it's something we've got to be aware of. And good physicality there by Harry Hill to break down the momentum.
Fred Davies. BUCS Super Rugby top try scorer for the season, the record breaker off to Bristol Bears. Provides Harry Craven with the opportunity to go squirming around. He pops to one of his big forwards. Nicholson. Paul Brown away. How has he done it? The crowbar breaks through an impossible tackle with no room on the far side. And listen to the cheers. The Durham University faithful feel the title coming to the north.
Excellent finish there from Paul. Again, just see how quick he is off those 20 metres. For us, a bit lucky there. A few passes going behind the man, something that we really try and drill our own standards. But there you just see Paul running in. Got such a nice running style, and that's another one for him this year.
Well, the step to dupe Zach Thompson is one that he's not going to want to see too many times. It was so powerful, so exact. Just the 5 once again. But that is try number 5 for Durham as they begin to build a score in this first half. Paul Brown, absolutely electric. Here come Northumbria, a chance to reply. Confusion and the ball bouncing loose. Zach Thompson smashed on the pickup. Northumbria retained possession from the knock-on. In Paul Brown, that is tries number 9 and 10. Got 2 at Kingston Park. He likes playing against Northumbria. And for Northumbria here, you're in Oscar Yandel's shoes. How are you looking to play this position with chasing the game in mind?
I think something we identify with Northumbria is they've obviously not had the best year, but they're a dangerous team because they do try and chase the game, and they've got some good playmakers which do things which maybe are a bit unexpected. You see their blind side coming across again here, sitting in the boot of Oscar at 10, but like a little chip here in behind. There's a lot of space, but comes out on the Durham side.
Ball squirts free, and it is Durham on the counter once again. Max Pepper uses Nick Jonas, who goes to the boot. It is a foot race and lost forward at the crucial moment from Ollie Walker.
Mark here, guys. Knocked in the field of play by Purple.
It was a smart kick from Jonas. Lucas Blue coming across to lend a defensive hand, and it was a decisive one too as well, just doing enough to put off Walker. But a high pressure scrum now for Northumbria to deal with. Been a scrum under a lot of pressure in this first half. They get a bit of stability, and Harry Hill carries powerfully off the base.
Yeah, that's an excellent carry there to get out of that corner. So hard to exit from, and hopefully a good kick from the 9 here with the win behind him. It's a really good exit there from Northumbria. Really good drills, and they'll be very happy with that. And hopefully put the Durham line out here under some pressure from their perspective.
It really was excellently dealt with, wasn't it? The big carry from Hill, who is doing well with a retreating scrum. And the accuracy of the kick. Some good options for Northumbria in that line out to disrupt it. Durham get up and down well, and they launch again through the back line. Good hands seeking the edges. And don't you just know it, Paul Brown's lurking in support. Craven, it's a tricky ball to gather, but he does so well. Harry Craven with the trailing line makes it a double to match Brown. And everything Durham does turns to tries right in the moment.
Yeah, it's lovely work from Nick Jonas there. I think Paul's presence has maybe dragged a man out there who's so scared of his pace, and Jonas has ghosted through the gap. Great tracking from Harry, like all good nines should do. But Harry for us has been, we've had a few of our staples there. You've got Freddie going to Moran in the line out for a strong set piece. And then Harry tracking on the inside. They've sort of been those guarantees that we've had this year. Yeah, we're really grateful for all that as well.
So Harry Craven in a personal competition with Paul Brown on the try front. Both got 2 at Kingston Park. Both 2 tonight. And Will Nicholson steps up to maximise the score to a 7-pointer. Durham lead Northumbria 34 points to 0.
Yeah, lovely strike there from Will into the wind, right in front of the old beef pit down there in the corner. You could hear the noise going up. So lovely strike there, and nice 7-point try.
Well, Exeter supporters will be looking on at this building score with dismay, because they know that this is going to prove terminal to their title aspirations. Should Durham see this game out, barring a miraculous recovery from Northumbria. Of course, Exeter down at Cardiff Met, second going to third this evening. And you have to say, Pat, that Exeter have done everything that's been asked of them by you. They have gone and they've won bonus point wins every game to keep the pressure on you at the top. And it's certainly driving you to bring out your best that we're seeing tonight at the moment against Northumbria.
Yeah, from Christmas, neither of us have dropped a point. They've got a tough one down in Cardiff Met on that pitch in front of that crowd. Probably one of the toughest places to go in the league. But they're a real class outfit, especially their back line, who is so dangerous. And they've kept the pressure on us every week, like you say. There's no let up. It's one of the best things about this BUCS Super Rugby League.
Well, no let up from the Northumbria defence either. Double hit, muscular, driving the Durham runners back. This time it's Ewan Murphy who gets met. There is space round the fringes that Adamson's looking to weave through. Nicholson, the perfect pivot so far this evening. The yards tough to come by, goes to the toe, and that's a tricky one. Again, dealt with well by Northumbria. They try and squeeze an exit from the boot.
Come on in front, Durham, hold, hold, hold.
Chance here for Ollie Williams in the back corner where he's looking.
Out in front, Black, free, wait.
Lovely kick there.
Oh, what a cruel bounce. I think it was the bounce that went a bit higher and the gust of that hollow drift wind that just blew it across the dead ball, because for a moment it looked like it was going to be absolutely perfect.
Yeah, excellent vision from in there. Tiny bit of skill execution there, but it's so hard to kick these balls on this pitch. It's a bit of a bobbly pitch as well, but one of those threats that we identified. We know he's a classy player, and when you got a back line that has so many kicking threats as well, kicking battles probably aren't one of the things we want to get involved in. And I think he's just shown a bit of his class there. Kick that was a bit too long from us, and maybe not the chase. So it's something we need to look out for.
So Durham on the 10, centre field. This is a position you'd be licking your lips at if you were wearing the 10 jersey out there tonight.
Yeah, I mean, based on the wheel on the scrum here, I wouldn't be too surprised if we go down Paul Brown's side here with an 8-9-15 or something along the cards. Or just 8-9 and straight to Paul and give him a one-on-one.
Set.
But if it wheels the other way, then we'll probably look to get to this hedge here.
Ball's out. Ball
Well,
back off purple, advantage.
The 8-9
Advantage knock on.
almost proposing an opportunity for Nick Jonas to run onto it, but it's Lucas Blue who eventually comes away. And Northumbria threatening down the left flank. Zach Thompson told to stop in his tracks. He's offside, and
Option.
again the ball trickling over the dead ball line.
22, what scrum we kicked it from?
Good chance to strike from the turnover.
Scrum called.
Yeah, I think scrum half there for Northumbria is just throwing it out the back as well. No look, lovely feet down that far side to beat the man, and Northumbria are getting so close to breaking us. Just a few bounces of balls. That kick was just a bit too strong there, but we know how dangerous they are, and it's something we need to be aware of and really, really maintain our high standards that we've looked at keeping all year.
Approach. Bind. Set.
Well, the scrum nosedives on entry. Harry Craven, ever the opportunist.
Yeah, he's a real live wire, is Harry. Something that I've learned playing alongside him this year is any penalty and you've got to be ready to go with him. He's so good at beating that first man, whether he sidesteps him. He's an aggressive little ball carrier as well. He's like a little whippet. So it's definitely something that if you can get on his wavelength and get through, he can create quite a few tries for you.
Black, on the line please guys, on the line, on your front man.
Northumbria seeking to disrupt. Callum Burke playing 6, more of a second row. Will Hopes, Ryan Gibson, all good options. But it's Hugh Sun opposed in the Durham skies. Fumbled by the Palatinate, and it is getting a bit scrappy from both sides at the moment.
Yeah, I think that's credit to Northumbria's defence as well and what they're bringing. They're also offering a 7 got off that last rock real quick and last scrum real quick and sort of hit the ball down there and disrupted it. But I think just from our point of view here, if I were playing, it would be just to go back to our basics, what we know well, what's worked for us so well all year, what's put us in the position to win the league this game. Northumbria here loading in behind the scrum with their 10 and 15, Ollie Williams and Oscar Yandel there, so it'll be interesting to see which way they break here.
Bind.
Well, the scrum becoming something of a sticking point. Fred Davies laughs it off. He's been pretty much ever present, and that is one of the things about this Durham side. You look at Monty Royston, Matt Woodward started every game at tight head.
He's done some 80s as well, 80 minutes, went down to Loughborough away. That was a 75-minute shift for him. You know, on that pitch as well and how quick it is. He's been a real, you know, pillar for us and how we've looked to play this year, and you see him there in the scrum. He's been so good.
Well, the Northumbria scrum obliterated once more, and in retreat mode they do so well to find Burke, who goes for a little gallop down the left flank. And a knock on, should we call it a hostile side of the ground?
I think it'll get a lot more hostile through the night, yeah. Right in front of the beef pit, this scrum here. It's worse when you go down to these places, Cardiff Met especially, in front of all the ultras. And I mean, Fred loved it. He had a right smile on his face. But when there's a line out in front of these crowds and these travelling fans, it's really tough for them.
Where's the toughest place to go in BUCS Super Rugby?
I know it's cliche, but Cardiff Met for the crowd. Sort of feel like you're boxed in with the sports halls around, and they really offered a lot that first game of the season. But also Exeter, just because of how good of an outfit they are. You know, it's a real long bus journey for us. And then some other places that are tough. Cardiff away, Uni of, that's another tough one. Sort of out in the sticks and on their pitch, not too much of an atmosphere. You've sort of got to make your own atmosphere. So those are probably the three that stand out for me.
Good work there, Seven.
With Craven at the bottom of the ruck, the forwards go in to play scrum half. Durham happy to press down that narrow side, urged on by their supporters. Bit of a high seatbelt on that one. Adamson.
Uppercut. Thanks, guys. Seatbelt penalty only.
Referee Ben Rayner doing well not to get sort of sucked into the hostilities, isn't he, as well? No malice in the seatbelt tackle, but certainly a penalty. That is some kick to pin Durham back late in this first half. The dying embers. This is where Northumbria will want to play their rugby from now on. There's a huge piece of green grass in the Northumbria backfield. So well dealt with, and Ned Newman. We haven't said the vice-captain's name enough. He's been seeking the ball all night, and now Northumbria with a bit of wind in their sails. Options out wide, a show, a fend, good strength to take them to the 10.
It's unlucky there for Northumbria. Some lovely phases there. Good backfield coverage in the end by Oscar Yandel. Lovely pick-up, and he's also then double-rocked afterwards. Nice tip there. I think it was Harry Hill who tipped. And they're just getting on the outside of our edges. It's something we need to be aware of. I think just feel when you know that last pass sticks for them, they're a really dangerous outfit. And they're starting to get a bit of go forward there. 3 really nice phases for them.
Well, the alarm bells were ringing when that kick went in, and you've got to tip your hat to Oscar Yandel, who scampered across, picked up a really awkward ball, rode the tackle, and then found Ned Newman. You know, such a dangerous player, a real stalwart of Northumbria in his final year. I feel like he's been around since the start of BUCS Super Rugby, in fact.
Yeah, there's a few boys like that. I think Cardiff Met Ultras were wanting Freddie to do his 15th year or whatever it was. Some real, you know, old war horses, as it were. But Fred's obviously next year heading down to Bristol. Picked up a contract there. Fair play to him. He's been so good for us. He's a real class act as a player, but also as a leader. He's a really good speaker, and he just leads with his presence and the way how he plays. And he's taken us to those next levels when we've needed it in some of our darkest moments, if you were to say that. You know, Hartbury away with that wind. That's another hard place to go against a really class outfit, well drilled. He was one who sort of the boys rattled around him, and we managed to get a result there. 19-17 it was, and they're the moments that, looking back at this season, they'll be the ones that stand out the most.
The ones he had to dig deepest for, and it's Northumbria. You need to get the spades out, all 15 of them, because Durham are on the attack again. The last chance of the half, going down the left flank through Max Pepper, a try scorer early. Good offload to Jonas. Jonas held up in the tackle. Big defence from Northumbria to close out the half. But it is a half that is one colour and one colour alone. That is the purple Palatinate of Durham University. 6 tries, 34-0. They lead Northumbria. Well, which try do you want to pick, Pat? Because there are a number of absolute peaches. And the first one went to the flyer, Paul Brown.
Yeah, great finish there by Paul. Almost a carbon copy of his last one. You had to pick one out. It'd be Harry Craven's with his tracking on the inside, just because of the set piece drills that went into it. See Max there breaking down the wing. He's so dangerous. He seems to always beat those first couple players. But Harry Craven's try, we had a nice set piece move, Fred to Marion off the top of the line out. And a nice break through the middle and excellent tracking from Harry on the inside for that try.
The tries were coming thick and fast, and it really was difficult for Northumbria to deal with. It was the variety of the attacks, the precision of the passing, but that bust from the returning Braden Barrett, linking up beautifully with Jamie Adamson. I mean, Jamie Adamson is some handful. Look at the power riding through that tackle.
Yeah, he's a real power athlete, and you can see why he's involved in that 7 series. It's a different sort of strength. Throws some serious weight about in the gym, and so quickly as well. Nice play there from Ewan out the back, and a good ball by 40. But Ollie Walker's so quick here. He's rivaling Paul Brown for pace. I know people may not think it, but a really nice finish there. He's another one of those quick boys. Him, Paul, and Max are our real speedsters.
Ollie Walker doing so well to keep on his feet, and then the wherewithal to find the support. And this was the step that left Zach Thompson clutching at memories.
That's been something that Paul's been trying to bring into his game. He's such a natural athlete. His ability to beat a man with space is unbelievable, in his pace. But his sidestep's something he's been really working on. And this is the try here. Just see nice play, good ball by 40. He's a fresher over from South Africa. He's a real nice bloke and a real classy player is how to describe him. Nice ball from Jonas on the inside there. It's a tough pass to make down a narrow channel, and good grab by Craven to go over. Really nice set piece try there.
So that was the scoring for the first half, and quite a half for Durham University. They set their stall out for the win that they need to claim the BUCS Super Rugby League title. Half-time here at Hollow Drift. Durham University lead Northumbria 34 points to 0.
Fred Davies, Durham University, and I play hooker.
Syke Ali, I am the performance rugby coach from the University of Durham.
We had a really great start, so it sort of put us in that top sort of 2-3 contention for the whole time, and it was one of them we didn't really realise. So I think we've gone 7 games unbeaten, and then I'm sat at a review meeting maybe on a Monday going, well, we could have a go here. You know, it's we could be in a good place, and then it was just taken game by game. As cliche it is, it's the season, and the rugby is that brutal around the country that it has to be.
Big crowds, pressure events, high quality games. It's such a great grounding for an entry into high level rugby, whether that be Premiership, Championship, or whatever
that you play in. I think uni rugby's, to say it again, is very unique by comparison to professional sport and school. I think it's as close as you can get to professional sport without it being there.
I'll go honesty, intensity, and fun.
So John Benson, Northumbria University, head of rugby. All of the games excite the players, do you know what I mean? There's no easy game within Super Rugby, so you're going to go down to Exeter, you know you're going to be a challenge down at Exeter. Harbour is exactly the same, and so is Bath. So literally all of the games are exciting and looking good challenges, shall we say, good challenges for the players. I would certainly say expansive, in how we want to play the game. We want to obviously play an attractive style of rugby in that respect. I think the boys are really hungry. They want to prove a point, they want to show how good they are. I think they would be honest with themselves and didn't perform at the standards that they knew they could have done. But a lot of those boys are still with us, so they're hungry to go out there and perform again, and they've missed it. Obviously they've missed rugby and playing rugby and getting back to it. And probably the last one would be explosive and how we want to play, how we want to defend, how our structure is, how we talk about it, and also ball carries going forward in that respect.
Just to get everyone back together, it's been a really long year not having any BUCS rugby. Everyone is just excited to play. I think it's a really difficult one to call this year. I think we're going to have a really great team, and we have such a good mix of youth and experience. So of course we want to go all the way. We want to win, of course. Who doesn't want to win?
And the momentum we're building coming out of the COVID break has just gone from strength to strength. I can't talk highly enough about how well the women have done.
Then you've got the outside half, one more pass should do it. Oh, the cover tackle!
And they've gone quickly, so here's Lazel.
Good footwork, and she goes over for the first score. Oh, that's a gorgeous line from Maya Piku. That is the 4th try.
The lead that Tamara Taylor is lurking with the trophy emblazoned with platinum ribbons to mark a monumental and historic moment for Durham women's rugby.
A near perfect season. 10 games, 9 victories. The first time they've won a national championship. Can they make it a double? This team put together by Cy Culling. The history makers. The champagne moment.
Northumbria, the men in black, out on the field first and looking to make amends after a torrid first half. Handed 6 tries by Durham University. This is how they line up. A new centre pairing of Ollie Walker and Mikey Ford are doing the business. They found a way to release Paul Brown for 2, Max Pepper for 1. And the beating heart, Harry Craven at 9, has got a pair as well. In the pack, well, Jamie Adamson and Braden Barrett, they've been the headline grabbers with really dynamic back row performances, aided and abetted by the powerhouses in the engine room, Ewan Murphy and Marin Hughes. Strong performances all round for the home side, and plenty of power and dynamism to come from the bench. The Northumbria side, well, Ned Newman, we mentioned him, he hasn't got his hands on the ball enough. He's an old stager, knows how to score, the vice-captain tonight. I want to get it to him on the right flank in the 14 jersey a little bit more. Lucas Blue When we've seen him, we've liked him, but again, not enough. Although Oscar Yandel is doing a very good job in the face of a retreating pack in the 10 jersey. A new front row in Matt Siddle, Cam Wilkinson and Billy Nichols. And the returning Callum Burke is proving plenty of ballast for that back row alongside Murray Wigmore and Harry Hill. We are underway, and Durham receiving in those famous colours of theirs. Northumbria looking to bring plenty of energy from the get-go. John T. Maney is on wearing the 17 jersey. The changes having been rung by John Benson, will identify them and inform you as the half progresses. And just an update as well from elsewhere in the league. This was the title decider tonight. The maths was this: Durham needed a win of any sort to halt Exeter from overturning their lead at the top. They were looking for Northumbria to do them a favour, but that all banked on Exeter winning at Kincoid at Cardiff Met. Well, the score at half-time is Cardiff Met 33, Exeter 7. And Exeter only got their try right on the buzzer of the first half. So a monstrous performance from third place Met against fellow title chasers Exeter. You would say with some confidence with those scorelines that the title is indeed going to stay in the north. Durham, the last champions of BUCS Super Rugby. Last season curtailed through COVID. So the last league champions, Durham, it's going to be a double by the looks of things. But a big half of rugby remaining, and also an opportunity for Northumbria to find a bit of confidence before going into their playoff battle against Nottingham University in a couple of weeks.
Open play on.
Yeah, a really frantic start here to the half. Looks open up here for Max. Lovely offload away.
Here we go. Durham on the assault. And Durham coasting across and under the sticks. Mikey Ford adds his name to the ledger.
Lovely break there. Nice 2-on-1 to finish. Those two had a similar break against Beckett last week, and pass wasn't quite there in almost the exact same sort of scenario. Slightly worse conditions, but great pick up there from Harry. Just takes his time here, and lovely 2-on-1 and easy rolling for Mikey Ford, the fresher there.
Well, it was the strength of Max Pepper in the tackles initially, the pop to Craven, who is really the man you want darting through and providing that killer 2-on-1 pass. And I mentioned just before the half-time, this combination of Ollie Walker and Mikey Ford in the centres, a new centre pairing. They've both kind of danced around the 12 and 13 jerseys all season and missed each other like ships in the night. But tonight, for the first time, paired up together and looking pretty good.
Yeah, Fordy's a real, I'd describe him as a silky player. He's a real class act, got some lovely little touches, and his passing's are one of his strengths of his game. He's also rock solid in defence, which is something that we look for with our centres here at 12. Walker's just got out and out gas. The way he can beat a man. We've been unfortunate to miss him quite a bit this year with broken wrists and other things. I live with him, he's a real good lad. He's quite a quiet boy, but when he gets the ball in space, it's dangerous.
Yeah. Deceptively strong and super quick. That was how Alex Key described Ollie Walker to me. Very, very complimentary of him.
He's an all-round sportsman as well. He plays off 4 at golf, plays rackets as well, so he's a real class act.
Yeah, don't you just hate guys like that?
I know, he just rocks up, doesn't practice either, and just bombs them down the fairways.
Oh God, I hate him even more now.
Good defence there from Durham though. Slight wayward pass from Northumbria, and they'll be disappointed with that. I think they've got to really look now towards building for their playoff against the University of Nottingham team.
For those newcomers to BUCS Super Rugby, or those tuning into the stream for the first time, Northumbria will finish bottom of BUCS Super Rugby this season, and they will face Nottingham University, who have finished first in the North Premier 1 League.
To the front man still.
And whoever wins that either gets to remain in BUCS Super Rugby or comes to join the party. Swansea replaced Nottingham Trent last time the playoff took place.
Still bounding him through the middle, he's perfectly legal.
In what was a shock at the time, but Swansea acquitting themselves so well in the league.
Hands away, Black!
Speaking of acquitting themselves well, Durham on the hunt for 50 points. Carrying through the back row, a scramble from Jamie Adamson, an infraction, and Marion Hoos gets his try. The Dutch cap second row, his 4th of the season.
Have a word for me on that one, that's 8 Black falling on the wrong side for me.
All too easy for him in the end.
I think that's been our bread and butter all year. Got a strong maul there. First maul we've had this game, actually. Northumbria did well to disrupt it in the end. I think they were swimming through there, keeping their binds though. But there, we can just play at different tempos when we pick and go. Our pack's so experienced and got so many good leaders and carriers in there that we obviously chose to go quick around the corner there and just beat Northumbria on the fold.
And Marion Hoos, one of the long-standing Durham players, lives with Fred Davies, lives with Reece Belcher, who's wearing 19 on the bench, the club chairman. Time to come on. These are the lads who are looking at their final days in a jersey that they've given many, many years to. And on a stage where they're going to be lifting the BUCS Super Rugby League trophy. Ollie Williams returns the kick.
A good contest on your feet.
Yandel. Again, Northumbria seat the edge. Ned Newman's worked his way free.
Back foot.
Oh, beautiful inside line and ball, but
Advantage is over.
the defensive pressure forced the knock on. Northumbria on the spin, outnumbered.
Hold.
And Williams is working overtime in every department at the moment. Space spotted by Durham.
50-22, I think, there as well.
He's in a much better view than we are.
Let's take a look. There we go. Definitely a 50-22. Pin perfect. Wow. Those are the kicks that Ollie Williams and Oscar Yandel were looking for in the first half from Northumbria. Couldn't quite land them. That home pitch advantage paying off in this half. Fish.
Yeah, I think also just how strong the wind is there. And I think we'll look to maul this again. Good transfer there.
Well, Freddie Davies, the captain, is right at the back in the armchair he oh so loves.
Don't think anyone else will be getting the ball if this goes over.
21 BUCS Super Rugby tries for that man so far. Already a record breaker, like a purple Palatinate motorcade, clearing a path for their presidential man at the back. Oh, but it's turned over by Northumbria. In the final moments, it looked inevitable. A great last-ditch defence.
Good exit though off the outside of the boot as well, into the wind.
I could not tell you how that came out on the Northumbria side though.
No, but key thing is the ref's not seeing anything, so it's good defence from them.
Not your department, is it?
No, exactly.
So no engagement from Northumbria. Poses the question to Durham, they break.
Advantage. Number 4 has left the line out before it's over. Number 4 has stepped off the line before the line out's over. Number 4 black stepped off before the ball's transferred.
Ewan Murphy down here on a knee. I hope he's all right. He's a real good player. He's contracted at Sale Sharks. Done a bit of stuff with England 20s last year. He's another boy I live with.
Well, what Northumbria were trying to do there was to not engage the Durham pack. And if they don't engage them, then it's not a maul. And technically there's no offside. But the referee not happy with the way that they were trying to circumvent the maul there, should we say.
Also something that we picked up on in the week as one of their maul defences. So real good work there by Jacko, keeping the ball at the front until there is that engagement.
Into the corner we go. Freddie Davies gets a chance to latch on to the back once again. The line out, apart from the first one of the night, has been supreme. And as predicted, Bristol Bears bound Freddie Davies latches on. Northumbria do well to swirl it initially. It's got the momentum of a runaway Palatinate freight train. And who else? Who else but the captain, Freddie Davies? He gets his try, number 22 for the season. It wouldn't be a championship crowning night without that man getting across the whitewash.
On the back of them all as well. I think that's what all 22 have been from. But it's also a credit to his throw-in and the drills we've got here. Our forwards coach, Nez, and Keezy, it's one of those things that they really focus on every week. They drive the standards, and a really nice try there from the pack. And it's so nice to have as a back when you have a pack that goes forward like that.
Well, I'm going to tell you a stat in a second. Beyond the 22 that man there has scored, looking very pleased with himself despite 8 other men doing the hard work for him before dotting down.
Jack.
Lovely strike there by Will. Nice to see him getting his groove back on. He's such a good clean striker of the ball, and it's one of his super strengths, if you could call it that. His kicking, his place kicking particularly, is so strong.
Well, coming into the game tonight, of the 77 tries that Durham have scored this season, 43 have been scored by either Fred Davies, Harry Craven and Paul Brown. They've added 5 tonight, so I think that is shifting the dial even more in terms of their try-scoring dominant for those 3. But as you said, those Freddie Davies tries, they may go to his name in the record books, but divide them by 8 and credit them to the pack that he's working with, those drills that Pat Bishop mentioned, those clean line-out takes, the coordination in splintering through opposition, forward resistance. And Northumbria are continuing to play, and they find the gap eventually. And it's try time for Joe Lilly. A last-ditch tackle. Not enough from Paul Brown, and Northumbria get their try. They've kept probing, they've kept working. And eventually they find a gap that rewards them with the try. Ollie Williams, who's been tireless tonight. It was Zach Thompson, that little delay to seduce the extra defender. And wow, it was a brilliant effort from Brown. Joe Lilly.
Lovely double pump there to put him through the gap. Saw the Durham defender there bite on him. A nice finish in the end, good gas.
Fabulous kick as well from the creator. Durham leading Northumbria, but Northumbria on the board. Too much to do
Hold, guys, hold, purple, hold.
for the men in black. But
9 subs.
25 minutes remain for them to find their groove ahead of their playoff. Replacements for Durham. 21, Morgan James. Number 19, Reece Belcher. The club chairman, an immensely popular figure here at Durham University, come on to have their say on what is going to be a famous night for the hometown university.
Interesting here, I think Morgan's shifted out onto the wing there. He can play 9 or in the back 3, and Max Pepper there, you see him stepping up at 9, which is where one of the positions he can play. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes there, but Ewan's been terrific in the boiler room there for us in the second row and in that engine room. And Harry again, another couple of tries for him. He just continues to get better and better. And that's why a couple of clubs are looking at him for Prem Cup, like Wasps.
Well, if you can see the Durham bench now, everyone is itching to get onto the field. They're right at the edge of the technical area. In fact, Alex Key is doing a pretty good job as a touchline marshal to try and batter them back, which is ironic considering the manner in which he can be found encroaching the pitch with his enthusiasm from time to time. But definitely a good feeling down on the Durham bench, and all the characters wanting to get involved, just like Belcher, just like James.
Nice to have 2 of the older boys on here in Morgan and Reece. Sort of giving so much to the club and the jersey, like you say. Last game at Hollow Drift for them. They've not taken in the last league game, that is, at Hollow Drift. So it's really nice to have those older boys on the pitch finishing it all together.
Yeah, you mentioned last game at Hollow Drift. There will be more to come up at this famous ground. In the 150th anniversary of Durham City Rugby Football Club, they're celebrating this year. And they will be celebrating a league title. And they will be hosting a home quarter-final against whoever finishes 8th place in the league, which at the moment, you need a PhD in playoff permutations to figure out, because while 1, 2, 3 and 4 are confirmed in terms of their home playoffs, it could be any one of Swansea, Cardiff, Hartbury, Leeds, Beckett, Bath. Here we go. Is it hat-trick time? You betcha! It may be Durham's night, but it's Paul Brown's town tonight. A hat-trick for the Palatinate Flyer.
Not too sure about that dancing there from Paul, but if he score a hat-trick, I suppose he can get away with it. Nice piece here, getting from edge. Real nice focus off set piece. Good ball from 40, holding it up at the line, staying square. Nick doesn't do too much there, just gives it Paul on the outside, and it's just his gas and his natural pace which gets him around there.
Big smile from ear to ear. A hat-trick for Paul Brown. 5 against Northumbria this season. The Durham wingers hitting the richest vein of form coming into the playoffs. Max Pepper, 6 in his last 3 appearances here. Paul Brown, 5 in his last 3 appearances. And Will Nicholson striking it pure, but just dragging to the left of the upright. Durham 60, Northumbria 7.
Hamish Murray's on the pitch here for Matt Woodward, the Warthog. Another top performance from him. Does a lot of unseen work. So strong in the set piece, and good take from Jamie there off the kickoff.
Well, replacements for Northumbria. Oh, that's a good tackle from Karim Isa. Known for his strong attacking instincts at the base, but showing his defensive prowess there as well. Good defence from Northumbria. They're not giving up.
Comes from an excellent dominant tackle there, which gets him on the front foot and sealing off there from Durham.
Tyler Tomlinson in 19 is on for Northumbria. You are the characters as well. Owen Harrison. Let's take another look at this shot. Bang. Do you know what? Fred Davies did well to stand up initially on that. It was just the initial contact that arrested him
on your front man. Step off.
In his forward progression.
Good.
Yeah, he's such a strong ball carrier, but he's got so many bows to his arrow, strings to his arrow. Sorry.
Join the line before.
Strings to his bow, whatever it is. Get there eventually. But his ability to be a ball player and use footwork as well. See a little break move here from Northumbria.
Lovely set piece move from Loughborough. Doesn't pay off. John T. Maney, the replacement hooker wearing 24.
The turnover's good by Durham, it's then just knocked up. Turnover's good by Durham, then it's just knocked up.
The game breaking up slightly with the number of replacements coming onto the field. Northumbria player down, looks like Zach Thompson.
We've had 22 12 all right?
And you can hear plenty of singing. That's on the most sparsely populated side of Hollow Drift. I actually didn't notice until half-time looking behind me. The hill is packed with supporters. But this same side, you can see, yeah, there you go, just behind us. Goes pretty deep, all along the hill. Everyone enjoying their night out. You'd probably like to be with them, wouldn't you, Pat?
No, I'd like to be on the other side in the beef pit down there with all the boys, but yeah. It's a real credit to Durham and what the boys do here, and also the university supporting us. We're really lucky to have this sort of an environment that even in the peak of sort of summative and some exams coming around the corner, this deadline's that there's so many people that come down to watch on a Wednesday afternoon.
And a lot of members of the women's side here as well, who we mentioned in the pre-show, lifted their trophy, the Women's National League, a couple of weeks ago. So a unique double for Durham.
Yeah, full credit to them. Congratulations as well. They're a fantastic outfit. I think they'll be looking to achieve more. They've got some real good girls there, some excellent players, and something that we weren't really aware of until a couple of weeks ago, that it was actually on the cards. And credit to both teams. They've just continued going at what they do best and winning games, which is the main thing with this sort of BUCS Super Rugby and University Rugby as a whole.
The semi-final awaits for
17 pre-engaged.
the Durham women.
17 pre-engaged. Same as them in the first half.
Just as the quarter awaits for Durham University. They'll both be home draws. The other confirmed home BUCS Super Rugby Cup fixtures will be held at Exeter, Cardiff Met and Loughborough. Looking like Exeter will be finishing second, Cardiff Met third and Loughborough fourth. So four pretty revered universities with home quarter-finals, and any of 5 teams that could be making it in. The way the league is sat at the moment, I don't think anyone wants to play Swansea, who are playing Bath tonight. That's also on a stream that kicked off a little bit later.
Nice double pump there from Will, but he just drifted forward. But yeah, Swansea have come into a real rich vein of form. They're a really good outfit. Tough place to go as well. Got some good coaches down there. I think they're six wins now, are they, on the trot? 6 and 6?
They're five on the bounce, and tonight would be 6.
Yeah, so good time to come into good form, and they're a really difficult team to play. They've got so many different facets that they can go towards. They've got a really quick back three, which are one of their strengths that caused us a bit of a problem here at Hollow Drift after Christmas.
Well, Swansea, of course, beat Cardiff Met live on the stream a few weeks ago at Kincoid. The first time Cardiff Met have ever lost a Welsh derby, and the first time in goodness knows how long they lost at Kincoid. And then mathematically, the absolutely unimaginable is still in the balance that Hartpury could not make the playoffs. The only team to have ever won the BUCS Super Rugby Cup. I'm not sure that will happen, but it is a possibility, and that just kind of shows you, I know it's a cliche, anyone can beat anyone, but just how tight this league is with so many unbelievable institutions in the mix week in, week out.
I think Hartpury are just they're a different beast when it comes to the cup, but they're such a difficult team to beat, and both our games against them have been one-score games. They're really well drilled, and they've got some excellent individuals in that back line of theirs.
Cup specialist Hartpury. They don't always finish top of the league, but they're always in the final reckoning come cup time. And just like that, Northumbria have gone from the Durham 22 to a goal line dropout. The wind has really picked up, flying left to right now. I think left to right. You have to clear that up for me, Pat.
Yeah, I'm not too sure after playing it all year. It just blusters.
And into the hands of Jamie Adamson. Not a man you want to invite to counter. The strength, the speed, but he's felled well. Freddie Davies. Durham pressing, seeking more. Beautiful missed ball to the replacement.
Morgan there going down the wing.
Eventually put into touch.
Absolute seed from 40 though over the top there. That's what I was talking about, how silky he is. And Morgan's so dangerous. He's another one of those boys who could beat you in a phone box. His footwork's something else, and he's real quick off the mark as well.
Well, it was an excellent strength from Joe Lilly in the end to manage Durham player across the touchline. Recipient of the offload from Morgan James. The Blazer boys in fine voice.
Water off, please, guys. Water off.
Yeah, it'll be a good night tonight, I'm sure. Some real characters over there, and it's sort of the heartbeat of the club. We've had a really successful year across all the teams. I think we won 3 leagues, we're in finals of different cups, and the thirds beat Manchester University Wands today in the last play of the game. So it's been a really good day for the club.
Northumbria go for a dart over the top, and it works well for them.
Time you run.
Callum Davidson shapes to box clear, and he does so long, almost up to the halfway. But there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Palatinate jerseys eager to attack back. The tackle is ridden on the left flank.
Back foot.
And Northumbria are circling the wagons. Durham keep pressing, they keep finding the seams. More direct.
Use the line.
Head down from the forwards. A dart for the line, short.
Hands and feet.
Adamson. Looks to make his a double. Reaching
He's allowed to place the ball.
and scoring. Well, time paused for a moment there as the players look to the referee. Northumbria looking for the double movement. They're clearly stating he's allowed to reach, he's allowed to place. Just look here. It was going to be him all along. You know it's coming, how do you stop it? And that just little telescopic arm. And the shock of blonde from the number 7 jersey. His second try of the match. Durham's 11th.
Excellent reach out there from Jamie. I think that's another thing that's a credit to BUCS, the league that we play in, is the standard of refereeing is second to none. Lots of these refs see this kick from Will. He gets it there. Lots of these refs are, reffing Prem games at the weekends. There's a really good exposure for us younger boys to that standard of refereeing. They're all mic'd up, the ARs. It's another real positive aspect of this league.
Northumbria continue to fight. They've got one try. They'll certainly want more. They've been dogged throughout. They've got another 11 minutes to see through of this Northeast derby.
That's a good turnover. We'll come back to another.
A scrum to launch an attack for the final 10 minutes.
No advantage. What's it say, guys? Yeah, it's just not trying to
Well, Exeter on the comeback slightly, 36-14 after 66 minutes. Whatever they do, they know it will be in vain, because Durham have this one well and truly sewn up.
The rain's lashing down as well, down in Cardiff. It's not many worse places to go there. It's so cold as well, it's a bit like here at Hollow Drift, just a bit more rain.
I mean, this is positively tropical in my time coming up here. Take this any day. Up at Durham City Rugby Ground. Mentioned one of the teams not in the top 4 will be on the road. The 8th place team will be playing Durham, the league champions. But all roads lead to Sixways in Worcester. That is the setting for the BUCS Super Rugby Cup Final and the Women's National League Cup Final. 13th of April. Don't you forget it. It's Harry Hill. Gets another big carry under his belt. He's been excellent from the base of the scrum all night. Tireless in the manner in which he's tried to propel his team forward. A penalty here for Northumbria. Good opportunity. And it looks like it'll go to the corner to try and give Durham a taste of their own driving more medicine. Touch safely found and a chance for Northumbria to build here.
I think it looks like we're going to mirror them and maybe send someone up here. So real good clarity and drills needed from Northumbria.
Smartly taken in the end. The black jerseys break away. Harry Hill set play. Oh!
Unlucky lads.
They'd outfoxed Durham there. They'd been caught flat-footed. Harry Hill had broken. You'd have expected him to carry the power that he's brought all night. But instead he sought the pass to Joe Lilly, who was flying in at that gap, which was wide open. The pass a bit too high. And potentially the attentions of Paul Brown as well, coming across to cover the hole. Moving too much of the hands. Really good opportunity, really nice move as well, in fact.
It's another thing we identified in the week and picked up on, but it's really good execution from him there. They've outfoxed us at the line out. Good throw, good take at the top of his jump, and you know, it's a bit unlucky there that the ball's gone down.
Arm to floor. 18, on the floor.
Demoralising stuff for Northumbria. So nearly the killer move to pierce the Durham defence for the second time. And off the following scrum, it's a penalty. We're back up to the 10-metre line. Time ticking away. And that party feeling just beginning to build at Hollow Drift.
Yeah, it's been sort of like culmination of the season. But we just had to play our cards and what's been put in front of us. I mentioned it earlier, and Northumbria is still that BUCS Super Rugby team, and we knew they'd offer a lot today. And they'll keep on going till the end, but there's definitely some sort of a feeling building, like you say there.
Wow, good, quick defence, but Jamie Adamson fending off the attentions. For another pass goes to floor. You're showing signs of frustration here, Pat.
Yeah, just went to floor there, but it's nice to see. I'd like to see the boys try a bit of something new there. It's a nice little move, but to be fair to Northumbria, they've read it well there. I think it was a 13, and he's shot up out the line and put Jamie under pressure. Jamie's done so well to ride the first contact, but then it's just a difficult pass in this wind. I'd just like to see a bit of variation or something come into it that's a bit different. But to be fair to the boys, it's working, obviously, with the scoreline, so probably can't say too much.
Maybe a little hypercritical given the circumstances, Pat.
Yeah, maybe just a little.
Northumbria set piece works well again. Right.
Let's go.
Will Hopes, Ryan Gibson, both done such an excellent job in the second row for them this season. Ryan Gibson actually pretty instrumental in bringing a little bit more dependability to the line out. It was an area they struggled in earlier in the season, but certainly functioning very smartly this evening. Been a good platform for them. The wind swirling, just taking the pass offline, and Lucas Blue has to check and then try and generate his own pace into the contact.
Ball's out.
Good carry, gets across the gain line. Quick recycle, here come Northumbria. A show and a go and a dart through the gap. The best bit of play we've seen from Northumbria in this second half, and the Northumbria bench throw their heads back in frustration. Another turnover from this voracious Durham back row. Every time they've had a sniff of going on the attack, there's been someone to disrupt them.
Yeah, but I think there Northumbria are starting to show some nice shape, some continuity, and just keeping the ball, which is something we identified this week again. It was sort of that third point. Actually, they see a lot of the ball. Really good turnover by Monty there, I think it is. It's another facet of his game that he's added since Christmas, and he just seems to have taken it to a new level.
Well, Matt Woodward and Harry Craven returning to the pitch for the final moments. And that's not a bad way to end your half, or your game, sorry, from Monty Royston.
No, another excellent shift there from Monty. Pep's coming off here as well. Save them two for the coming weeks. Just see Hamish Murray here go over to the other side of the scrum. Somebody can play on both sides, which is a real skill of his.
Back off purple.
Well, a big right paw gets sent into that dark Durham sky, and the Palatinate come away with it. Fred Davies carrying, still pumping his legs for those extra meters. Craven driving the tempo, Mr. Metronome. Jersey's flooding round the corner. Marion Hoos. Will Durham finish this one in style? More numbers around the corner. Oh, and Harry Craven looking to match Paul Brown's hat-trick. Fumbles across the line in the dying moments. But it matters not, because the victory is emphatic. The title has been decided, there is no doubt. The best team in BUCS Super Rugby, the champions of the league, are Durham University with victory over their northeastern foes, Northumbria, 67 points to 7. Wow. Sum that up, Pat.
I think that's the first time I've seen Keezy properly smile this year. I think that sums it up. But yeah, it's a pretty special feeling. The boys have been so good all year. The coaching, the setup, everything around us. Keezy's punching the air there. It's been a real testament to how good the boys have been there. They pushed their standards to the top there, just under 70 points, and something we're really happy with, to do back-to-back BUCS Super Rugby titles, especially for some of these boys, you know, your Freds, Jamies, Jacks, Marions, winning 2. It's a real testament to how good they've been and the standards that they've driven themselves. It's not all been the coaches, a lot of it's been player-led. So it's a real shame we'll be losing these boys next year, but obviously we've got the cup and everything else to go.
And for you as well, because I'm keen to let you get down there into the celebration shortly. You're speaking really professionally about the group, the coach and stuff like that. How are you feeling, mate?
It's pretty ecstatic. Something I wouldn't have thought we'd done at the start of the year. But yeah, I can't really sum it up and put it into words. I think it'll take a little while to sink in.
So the words of Pat Bishop, the injured Durham 10, who's done so much to help Durham steer their way around this league. Only 1 defeat, 1 draw away at Cardiff Met. No team has ever scored as many league points as this Durham side in securing the BUCS Super Rugby title. Pat, I can't hold you here any longer. Go and get down there with the boys.
Thank you very much for having me.
An absolute pleasure. So, the traditional end of game tunnel, great respect shown between these two institutions, huge rivals in the northeast, and Durham go into a mob of Palatinate supporters who've cheered their team along this BUCS Super Rugby journey all season. Sheer ecstasy at Hollow Drift. That's what it means to Durham University. They are back-to-back BUCS Super Rugby champions. And it is the efforts not of just the 23 players on the field this evening. It is the momentum of a club. You heard it from Pat. Durham have enjoyed such success across all of their teams. And as is the way with all these institutions, it is more than just the first team. It is the seconds, the thirds, the fourths, the fifths, the social members. And in Durham's very, very unique case, it is them sharing championship status in BUCS with their women's team, who won the Women's National League by equally impressive figures. They played 10, they won 9. But this Durham side played 18, won 16, lost just 1. Alex Key there, Durham head coach. It's not his first title, but it is one that is going to feel oh so special, and one that he is sharing with his captain Freddie Davies in the 2 jersey there. On a rare night where the weather's held at Hollow Drift, it is Durham showered in glory, in purple palatinate rain of champagne. Durham University are BUCS Super Rugby League champions. BUCS Super Rugby League champions. How does it feel, mate?
I'm speechless. I know it seems bizarre, but 2 years just back to back is just incredible feat by the boys.
Yeah, look, back to back and with a huge obstacle in COVID in the way as well. How have you done it?
We engaged the boys for that year, and it was difficult, but they engaged as well, and that was really good. You know, we did lots of things, bizarre things, Dragon's Den, all sorts of kind of bizarre things, but we kept a group together, and the boys have been brilliant. We've had some, you know, senior players, Marin and Fred and Jamie, Jack, all those guys, been absolutely outstanding.
You know, I've been doing this league a while, and you've had some talented teams. There's some players who've gone on to some great things, like in the Premiership, like Ben Stevenson and Fitz Harding, but they weren't able to win the league for you. Whereas you've got this group here, again, a bunch of talented individuals. Well, what has been the difference amongst this group that has meant that they've been able to go back to back as well?
I think the resilience, I said this before, I think they've just been they've ridden every problem that's kind of got in the way, you know. You lose your 10 against Cardiff, and it was kind of almost seamless. We just didn't worry us at all. So I kind of think that's one of the big things. And they're talented. There's definitely, probably from the last group, maybe a little bit more artillery in there, you know, with people like Brownie outside and Holly and Peps and Joan. These guys have got wheels. So
you probably won't know this, but no team has ever scored as many points as you have in BUCS Super Rugby in the league. Wow. So it's a record. It's actually a record before this game, so you've taken that record on a little bit further. So with that in mind, you've coached a lot of championship sides, but how do these boys rank in the pantheon?
Oh, really hard to say, because I go back to my first 3 years at Durham. We were at Twickenham, 3 years on the run, and there were some brilliant players there. You know, Sean Robinson, who's been helping us tonight, Josh Beaumont, Sam Namersley. You know, some of those guys were outstanding. But I guess the standard's gone up since it became BUCS Super Rugby, and now you're playing it's a different gravy. And probably reflected a little bit with how many guys going out to Super Rugby and playing, you know, top end now. So how does it fit? It's hard to say. They're a different side. Falsey's side, man, they were a serious prospect as well. But they just never gave you a thing. They were the Scrooge of rugby, if that makes sense. This lot have just got a little bit more, maybe out wide, you know, so probably the scores reflect that a little bit, maybe.
Certainly did. Electric out on the edges tonight. Well, look, you got the league title sewn up. Let's address the elephant in the room, because there's another trophy at stake, and it's one that historically the league champions haven't gone on to win. Only Hartbury have done it in the Super Rugby era in the first year, I believe. Exeter, they finished top of the league a number of times and never gone on to even make the final. So how important for you, for this squad, is it that you go on a cup run now and you make it to that final at Six Ways and lift the cup?
Yeah, look, we just rethink about that. We'll kind of sit back, enjoy tonight, because that's what we should do, and not really contemplate the cup at this moment. I think in a week's time we'll then revisit that, let the boys go and have a few beers, enjoy some recovery, and then we'll make a go at it. If we go for it, we'll go for it proper, and if we're good enough, we'll win it. If we don't, we won't.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing you out there, as we've enjoyed seeing you all season, all right?
Thanks, Joe.
Congratulations, Keezy.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Right, there we go. Enjoy the celebrations, Alex. There you go. BUCS Super Rugby League sewn up by the men from the northeast. Not the ones in black, but the ones in Palatinate. It is double delight for Durham as they go back-to-back BUCS Super Rugby League champions. That's not it though, we got the cup competition to come. It all climaxes at Six Ways on the 13th of April. You do not want to miss the race to Six Ways, or what is bound to be a climactic final. Join us on the journey right here on the stream. You know where to find us. BUCS Super Rugby, the best league in the land.